Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you guys how I do my flawless foundation routine. And by flawless, I don't mean perfect. I mean that this is my makeup routine that I have been doing for the past, I don't even know how many years. And it never fails to stay all day long, even without a primer. It never fails to get me compliments either, which is a good thing, right? It used to take me hours and hours in the morning to do my makeup and get ready, but now that I'm a mom of two, I can put my entire face of makeup on in like 15 minutes. So if you are curious as to how I do it, please stay tuned and watch this video. Yes, I'm downstairs recording this because I completely forgot to record an intro upstairs in my spare bedroom where I recorded this video at. So my first step when doing my face makeup is I usually moisturize. And now hear me out. I hardly ever prime my face because it breaks me out. I'm also not really a big believer in it. I know that sounds wild because everybody is always raving about primers and how they're magical. Well, I don't see a difference whenever I prime my face. The only primer that I actually will say is this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I do love this. I do use this on my brides when I do their makeup because I feel like it definitely does give your face something to like stick to. But if I'm just going to Target or going grocery shopping or something, I don't prime my face. Instead, I just use a really full coverage foundation. And this one that I'm going to be using today is Drugstore. This is my favorite. I've recently been on the kick of using this. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation plus concealer. It can be used as concealer or foundation. If I could use concealer on my entire face, I would, but I know that's probably not a good idea. Second thing I'm going to be using is a beauty blender. This is not a real beauty blender. You want to make sure you have a really, really soft sponge. I'm talking like really bouncy. Sometimes if you go to like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, even Walmart and buy like those sponges in the big packs, they do the job. Like I have one right here that probably needs to be thrown away. It probably has mold in it. They're not going to do the same job as a really bouncy one is going to do. I used to go and buy the actual beauty blenders that are $20 a piece, which those are great. I love them. So if you can like afford those, that's amazing. But I have kids now and I can't. So I use these. They're called Pawpaw sponges. Pawpaw, super soft Pawpaw Wonder Blender. These are basically like beauty blenders in my opinion. The exact same, and I believe that it's like $8 for a pack of them and you get 6 in a pack. I have them in my Amazon storefront if you would like to go buy them. My foundation is a little too light for me right now because I've been laying in the tanning bed. I know it's bad, okay, I know it's bad, but I'm allergic to grass and I can't lay out right now. I said this in my previous video. Allergic to grass, I can't lay outside because I have kids and they'd run away from me because they're 1 and 2. And I ain't got time for it, and I am tired of looking pale. I did mix my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. This is just a darker shade. I did a little bit on the palm of my hand, on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna do about like 3 pumps of my Milani foundation. Milani is amazing. I don't know. I can't believe that they're not a drugstore brand. They're my favorite. So once I have that all mixed up, I'm gonna dot it all over my face. Don't be afraid if you feel like you're putting too much on, because if you're wanting a really full coverage, if you're wanting it to be full coverage, you want to use a lot of foundation. And the best part about using the sponge is that it's gonna soak up the excess. So if I have any left on my hand, I honestly just like get my sponge and scoop it up. So I'm gonna start by beating the foundation into my skin, y'all. You don't want to smear it because if you smear it, it's not going to be even everywhere. Literally want to pat, 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 pat. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, I even go like, and I feel like that, I feel like that actually even sets my foundation in more whenever it's beaten into my skin. When I get around my nose, I'm still doing the same thing, like beating it into my face, except I am kind of dragging it around the sides of my nose. And I even like once this is covered right here, I'll take my pointy edge and just blend that out into the corners of my eye so that there's not a harsh line. Don't forget to drag it down your neck too, because I'm guilty of not doing that to this day. And then I'll get in the car and I'll be like, oh, 2 different shades. My next step after doing that is I'm going to be concealing in Shape Tape. I'll probably never change. I love her. I'm using the shade Light Neutral. I am basically just kind of dotting this underneath my eyes on my T-zone. Over the years, my foundation routine has not changed that much. I did used to do like the whole, like, you paint the whole triangle underneath your eyes, but you know, it's not 2017 anymore, and apparently it's a sin to do that now. I start out first though by blending out my T-zone area, same way, you literally just pat, 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 pat. And then when I get underneath my eyes, I'm doing this too. I'm doing my concealer with with this pointy part of my sponge. So I'm pressing it into the skin and then pushing the concealer up because that'll lift my face up, and getting it really close and tight into the corner of my eyes and around my nose right here. So what I like to do after doing my concealer, I'm gonna take my Airspun powder. This is from Walmart. I think you can get it at Target too. It's like $6. I have these really weird creases underneath my eyes, and so I like to set my concealer immediately after I blend it. And of course, oh, here's my brush. I like taking a little brush like this. I think this one is from BH Cosmetics. I think I've had this brush for like 100 years. I took a little bit of that powder, dusted it off, and then I'm pressing it on. I'm gonna repeat the same thing over here. Do y'all remember when everybody would bake their face? I was never a fan. I always felt too caked. I think people still do it. Like, look, I actually think I'm doing it a little bit right now, and I'm over here trashing it. Everywhere that I just concealed, I'm setting with my Airspun powder. And then I'm gonna take this big, what is this called, a kabuki brush? I don't know the terms. I'm just knocking off that excess. So now we're about to get into the contouring part. Contouring, I contour very weird. You're about to see. For my first step to contouring, I'm using my e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. And this is in the shade Medium Tan. She's been well loved, if you can't tell. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out. So before I start this, I'm gonna give a tip. If you ever watch somebody cream contour, you're gonna see them do their whole entire face. They're gonna like do their dots here, on their nose, on their forehead, on their jawline, everywhere. I'm not a believer in that. I believe that wherever you contour, say you make your line right here first, you blend that immediately, because if you don't and you let it sit, it's gonna start settling into your foundation, and so then whenever you go to blend it, it's gonna pick up your foundation and leave like a circle where you put the contour at. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm terrible at explaining things, and I'm more of like a learner to where I have to watch people do things to learn. So just watch, and hopefully this will explain better. So I do that side and I blend. I do this side and I blend. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I'll do both of my like cheeks at the same time and then blend really fast. But you don't want to let it sit very long at all, because then you're asking for your foundation to come off. In my forehead, I just do like 2 little dots on both sides, and then I blend. I don't always contour my nose. Maybe I will for the sake of this video. I don't really have a problem with my nose. I don't really care if it looks snatched or not. But so I basically just shadow it. I don't do anything particular with my nose. But I feel like I did that one way. Yeah, that was awful. Don't even watch this part. Hang on. Wow. Maybe I should just delete my channel. Okay, no. I think I redeemed myself. Okay, whatever. It'll do. Now that that's done, I'm going back with my Airspun powder with that same brush that I used earlier. And I'm gonna kind of so all that does is kind of sharpen that edge. I don't want a very defined contour. I like more of like a subtle look. As I'm over here doing a full face of makeup, I like a subtle look. I don't want to look chiseled, right? I'm gonna go and I dust that off. Since I did cream contour, that part has not been set yet, it's still sticky. I'm gonna go in with my NYX Professional Makeup Can't Stop, Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. I got it for $3 at the Wally World the other day. This is in the shade Tan. Y'all need to start. What are these names? I want to be one of those people that come up with like eyeshadow color names and like foundation shades, but like medium tan. Come on. Can we name it like almond or something? So she looks like that. I'm taking my kabuki brush and I'm gonna set my contour with that. What this does is blend. Okay, wait, I forgot to mention. This is a little bit darker than my actual like face makeup, and it's a little bit lighter than my contour. Does that make sense? So what it does is it ties everything together. So when you're setting it, you're not gonna have this distinct like foundation contour. It's gonna literally just kind of be like a buffer and tie everything together and make it look flawless. You thought I was done? I'm not done. Last step when contouring. I usually use a different shade of contour every day because I just am very type B and I'm just like, oh, I see that, that'll work today. So today I'm going to use my Essence contour palette. Of course they don't have names, but that one would probably be called tan, and that one will be called light tan and dark tan and medium tan, and you know, these companies need to get together. Oh, okay, no, I take that back. This palette is called the Better Than Vacation Tan. I like it. It's better than just tan and medium tan. So I think I'm gonna go in with that one right there with this little fluffy brush. This one is from Morphe, and that's all it says because it's so old, everything has been scratched off. So that's what it looks like. And all I'm doing is basically adding the finishing touch to my contour. I like it to look not chiseled, but defined. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So not too much with this step. I basically just drag it along everything that I did. Yeah. For blush, I'm gonna use this e.l.f. palette, and this is the powder blush palette, and it's so hard to open for some reason. Y'all remember when everything from e.l.f. was $1? Man, those were the days. I'm thinking I'm literally gonna mix all of these. Oh, you know, I forgot to say I'm using this brush right here. It's kind of stiff, but also kind of fluffy. So I like to press my blush into my skin, because if you didn't know, blush is the first thing to fade with your makeup. So by pressing it into your skin, you're gonna get more longevity with your blush. Final step is here. My highlighter, and I am still a sucker for Becca. I love her. This is Champagne Pop. When this came out, this was like all the rave. I'm taking this little brush right here and I'm just gonna highlight my cheekbones, Cupid's bow, my chin, my forehead. I'm gonna drag it down my nose, do a little bit. Highlighter right there. I'm gonna finish my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back from finishing my makeup and this is the final result. If I am doing my makeup on the daily, I have a 1 and 2 year old. I usually don't do eyeshadow or anything. I literally will probably just do a full face of makeup and some lipstick, some lip gloss, and some mascara, and I still feel like the foundation routine that I do gives me that full glam look, and I feel completely put together. Even if you have acne, even if you have imperfections, when I say flawless foundation, I'm not meaning that your skin is gonna look magically, you know, smooth, because I have texture on my skin. But I found out that this routine that I have kind of come up with over the years gives me a glowy effect. It makes my skin look youthful. I mean, I am young, but it just makes me look so, what's the word? Snatched, okay? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them. Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts. I'm gonna have those linked below too. And if you are wanting to buy any of the products that I used, I will have them in my Amazon storefront, which is also linked. Yep, that's basically it. I will see you guys in the next video.